Good morning everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today is a perfect day to go kayaking. I don't know if you guys can see from here or hear the loons in the background. But we're gonna go kayaking. So I'm gonna get my gear ready and get on the water and go for a paddle. Okay, so we're ready to go. I got the kayak already here. So basically this kayak here is a 18.5 foot Delta Sport kayak. It's meant for touring, going on expeditions and stuff like that. So you have lots of room to put your gear in there. Kayaks come in different varieties. There's polyurethane, the plastics, which are fine. They're just a bit heavier, but solid, very solid. And then you have your fiberglass and all the other different types. So this one here is made of ABS plastic. It's 2 layers, and so it's fairly strong and fairly lightweight. I think it weighs 56 pounds, I think, empty. But of course, with all the gear, it's a lot more. So there's kayaks that have rudders. This is a rudder here that you see on the back, and there's some with skegs at the bottom that come out underneath the kayak. And basically what those are for is to when you're paddling in the water and you have a wind, an annoying wind I should say, pushing you sideways all the time, the skeg or the rudder prevents that or helps control that skeg. The front of the kayak, when it plows through the water, creates a wake, right? And that keeps your front end straight. So when you find yourself going sideways, it's usually the rear end that's being pushed behind you. So that's what the skegs are for in the rudders. What else can I tell you here real quick? So when you kayak, of course, you have to have certain things with you all the time. One of them is a personal flotation device. Mine here is it's got a little bit more on it. It's a rescue PFD, because I used to be a kayak guide, so I still have my PFD for that. So it's got the pigtail on the back and stuff. And signal whistle is the other thing that you must have. There's all kinds of different whistles out there that you can put on your life jacket. You have to have a throw rope, which is this one here, to be able to throw to a partner that's in distress, or if you need to be pulled out, whatever, you can use that rope to be thrown out. My other ropes that are here are to tow someone that's in distress. I tie that to their kayak and then to my pigtail. I always carry it with me, because Murphy's Law is when I don't bring him with me, somebody's going to be needing a tow. And it has happened in the past, where I was just out on a joyride, a paddle, and somebody tipped over and needed help. And then the last thing is the pump. This here, a lot of people will take that pump and put it in their rear hatch where they can't reach it. Well, when you get your cockpit full of water, you got to be able to reach that pump to pump yourself out, because you are going to tip over when there's water inside. It makes it that much tippier. This one here has a bulkhead. I don't know if you can see on the back here. So that's a bulkhead there, and there's one at the front as well. So if I do tip over, the only thing that's going to fill up with water is the cockpit itself. So I see a lot of these other kayaks that don't have any bulkheads, which are fine. The only problem is if you do tip over, they're going to completely fill with water and possibly sink, or you will never be able to get back into it, because it's just going to be just waterlogged. Whereas this one here, I can get back into it even if it's full of water. There's different things that you can do. I see a lot of kayaks without the deck lines. So these here are not just to hold on when you're moving your kayak on land. They're meant to grab onto when you're getting back into your kayak if you happen to fall out. So I see a lot of companies cheap out and put bungee cords here that stretches, which are useless, right? Because you need to be able to really grip on and get yourself back in there. I also have a paddle float. So what this is show you on the picture here. So a paddle float, you attach it, if you happen to fall in, you attach it to your paddle. And this one's a spare paddle, by the way. I always keep a spare paddle in case I break one or drop one. So anyways, you tie it to your paddle when it's all attached in one piece, and you put it under here and put it across, and it acts as support for your kayak as it comes out to about here. So then you can easily get into your kayak without the kayak tipping over again after you've fallen in. So, and then I have a skirt. Again, Murphy's Law. I always usually wear my skirt unless I'm with the dog. I also bring Yo-Yo with me. I have a what I call a snout rigger, and I'll show you that in another video, how we made that. And Yo-Yo, it's a platform that attaches to the back with 2 snout riggers, I call, on either side to help balance the kayak, because when she moves around it gets a little bit more tippy. So yeah, so it's the only time I don't wear the skirt. Usually I always have my skirt on, and that way if I do happen to do something stupid and tip over, I could hopefully roll back out of it and not have to get out of the kayak and pump the water out. So that's basically the 101 of kayaking. Like I said, there's tons of kayaks out there, but just keep in mind, you want something, if you're going to invest in a kayak, you want something that is that's got at least one bulkhead on the front or back that will hold the air in your kayak if you happen to fall in, and something preferably with deck lines, as I mentioned, that you can grab onto to get back into your kayak if you happen to fall out. The best thing I can recommend is to take the level 1 kayaking course. They show you all of that, the equipment that you need. They show you how to get in and out of your kayak if you get in trouble, and so on, and different paddle strokes. So yeah, I highly recommend, if you're going to go or start into the sport of kayaking, just invest in a level 1 course to give you the basics of kayaking, and just to keep yourself safe out there. I see so many people get themselves in trouble. It's unbelievable. So it's a fun sport. It's very safe sport. But if you're not cautious and you don't know what you're doing, you could get yourself in trouble if you're in the middle of the lake somewhere and you happen to tip over and there's nobody around. So, all right, so I'm gonna put my life jacket on now. Oh, and that's another thing, is by law, you don't have to have the life jacket on you, on your body. You can just have it in your kayak. I can tell you, good luck trying to put that life jacket in if you happen to fall in the water and now you're stuck, you're tired, you're getting hypothermic because the water is cold. It's going to be very difficult to get that life jacket on. So I always wear my life jacket no matter what, even if it's calm waters like this morning. So again, I can only recommend that you wear your life jacket at all times. All right. Okay, so I'm going to get my life jacket on now and my skirt, and we'll get on the water. Okay, so just to give you a quick paddle 101 again on paddling. So basically, when you're paddling your kayak, you want to have your arms fully extended if at all possible, and it's not, a lot of people will pull the paddle towards them. You have to push the paddle. So I'm pushing the paddle up here and pulling on the bottom. Same thing, I'm pushing the paddle up here and then pulling on the bottom. Okay, your paddle basically goes in at your feet and out at your hip. So in at your feet, out at your hip. All right, any questions? All right, let's go paddling. Now, unfortunately, I'm just gonna grab the camera here. Unfortunately, I usually have a headband for my GoPro, but I forgot it, so I'm going to have to hold on to it. So it might not be as steady as it usually is when I'm out paddling. Look at this, just beautiful. There's a loon just in, oh, there it is there, and you probably can't see it because it's too far away, but there's a loon over there. You'll probably hear it later on. Alright, so let's do this. I'm going to try and keep this as steady as I can, and hopefully you will enjoy the footage. On the way to set the tripod on the front of the kayak, so let's see how this goes. It's tied down, so if it falls over I can grab it. You might be going for a swim. Just beautiful out here this morning. There's not a breeze in the air. We'll paddle over to the island that I showed you there yesterday in the other video. Here we are at the bridge. A lot of kids like to come here and jump off the bridge. It's fairly deep underneath here. There's a good 10-15 feet of water. Beautiful lake, eh? So this is the public beach I was talking to you guys about. This is where everyone usually comes in the summertime and spends their weekends. In the red building, there was a canteen there, but I think it's closed now. I'm not seeing anything open there. And then there's like a barn type building in behind. Let me pull up here a little bit further. The barn structure basically is like a location where they host special events when they have a band or festivals and stuff like that. They'll have the turn around here. There you go. So the red barn in the back is that for special events and stuff. So this is where pretty much I grew up. Every summer weekends we would come here to the beach. There's a duck in the water right in front there. Or two ducks. I don't know if you can see them or not. So yeah, nice little spot. Just gonna paddle along the shoreline here. Can you guys hear the loons in the distance? I used to know a lot of these cottage owners, but I've been away for so long now. They've changed hands probably 5 times since then. The wind's picked up a bit, and as I mentioned before, my rear end is sliding a bit, so I put my my rudder down to compensate. Head back to the campground. Hear the train coming here. It really echoes when you're on the lake. We are back from our paddle. I hope you guys enjoyed that. It was beautiful out there today. Still nice and calm, as you can see. I'm just gonna pull my kayak out of the water here. There you go. Oh, forgot to put my rudder up. All right, I'm going to just load everything back in my bag and bring the kayak to the truck and load her back onto the elevators. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe down below if you haven't done so, and don't be shy to share with your friends, and we will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.